Hello everyone, it's Saturday, a new day, and here for the regular streaming schedule. Today we are continuing our live recap, which means we are playing the game and recapping at the same time, which is the same development process as every other recap, only this time you get to participate by helping me save time and hear my open thoughts about the game as we go along. Live behind the scenes with Secret of Mana. How's everybody doing tonight? Happy Saturday. Hello, Tyler. You're just leaving your house? Well, hey. Appreciate you for coming in and saying hey anyway. Hope you have a good rest of the day, and yeah, hopefully you can catch some later. It's only going to be for about 3 hours as usual. If any of you are curious, this is actually a good thing to bring up. With recaps, I do typically do around 3 to 5 hours every given day. That's about how much time I devote to a recap. Not necessarily the same recap, because I'll tell you right now, it is very maddening, or at least the process I found, where if you try to just binge, do like maybe 8 to 10 hours, like you're like, oh, I'll just set one day and do the whole day on just a single game. That burns you out, or at least it burns me out so much. I used to do that in the past, and I found it not very efficient. Like anything else, you just want to take breaks. So what I do is I will do 3 to 5 hours of one game, and then if it's a long day where I'm actually spending the day doing recaps, then I will switch over and do 3 to 5 hours of another game. That actually really prevents the game from getting too stale, I guess you could say, or just me getting burned down on it, because you're not approaching this from the same way that you would if you're like, oh dude, I can spend all day playing my favorite video game. I'm not necessarily playing my favorite video game, I'm playing a video game that's basically work. It's one of those things where they always tell you, hey, never make your whatever you do for fun your work, because it kind of sucks some of that out, and that's true, it does. Does that mean I don't have fun? Nah. I always found that the games that where the story or the gameplay shine through regardless of the way with which you approach it. Like, there are games that I do for recap, and I still find myself falling in love with the gameplay of it, or the story and the dialogue is so well presented regardless. It just goes to show you that there are different ways of which you can approach a game. You could argue that, yeah, there are some ways to, how can I say this? You can play a game wrong. There's absolutely ways to play the game wrong. However, if you're having fun, then there's nothing wrong with it. There is no wrong way to have fun with a game. So, yeah. Hey Pizza Alchemist, how are you today? What recap took the longest? Well, the longest raw recap was Nier Automata, because the unfiltered script before I had to cut it down was about an hour and a half to 2 hours. The longest game that took me to create it was Final Fantasy IX, and that was because of the production. All sorts of things went wrong. With me constantly getting sick, I just kept getting sick. I just didn't have a day where I just had the energy to do something, and my throat sounded terrible, so I couldn't record anything, and my eyes were so itchy and blurry I couldn't stare at a screen long enough. It took like a month to make that one recap, and then it got corrupted, some of the footage, and then it got pulled from YouTube anyway 3 years later, so I had to remake it. So Final Fantasy IX has the most troubled history of development. And in terms of the longest game to play through, the longest game to play through, without a doubt, is the Fate game, because that game is biblically large. It is absurd how long that visual novel is. That's why it literally is the only video with which I took each path and made it a separate video. That each was like 30 minutes to 50 minutes long. It was crazy. So, that was Final Fantasy IX. In fact, the allergies that are out right now is super high today, and I'm sensitive to that, so I'm trying not to sound terrible, but there's a little bit of raspiness in my voice right now. Fun fact, half of all the Final Fantasy videos I recorded while sick. If you know my inflections well enough, you can probably tell which ones they are. An easy hint is they are the ones with which I speak at a much more moderate pace than normal. And that's not because I'm choosing to, it's because I'm so low energy, I don't have a choice but to. So that's how it is. So if I'm coughing and clearing my throat or blowing my nose, I'll try to mute if I sneeze or blow my nose. But yeah, you may hear me clear my throat every now and then today because the allergies are just so, the pollen count's so high today, the grass pollen count, and I'm just so sensitive to it. And you know, anybody with that similar allergies knows what I'm talking about. You just wake up and your nose is already flooded, and you're like, oh, it's gonna be one of those days. Anyway, on with the recap. That's simply what we do. Every day we do a little bit. You may be thinking, hey, you're streaming 2 days in a row. Is that normal? For streaming this, no. For recap, yes. If you ever want to know what's the time commitment for a recap, take whatever you're doing in the day and slash out 4 or 5 hours. You have a good day too, Tyler. Hey Sam, how's it going? You have to burn 4 or 5 hours of whatever you're doing in your daily life to commit to creating, developing, post-producing, editing, re-editing, researching for recap. All of it's recap related. 4 or 5 hours every single day at least. And you're like, wow, I can't find 4 or 5 hours for that. Oh, if it's the main thing that you do, which this is slowly becoming, then you find it. You find that time. And where do you find that time? Because we all have the same 24 hours in the day. You sacrifice other stuff. So I sacrifice a lot of things in my life in order to make the time to do 4 or 5 hours every day just so I can make a video that you folks hopefully enjoy. So yeah, that's the life of a bard, I suppose. Anyway, I did spend some time last night after the stream at farming, I guess you could say magic. I am glad to say that at least for the first 2 levels, which is the length with which I did it, just casting spells over and over, it didn't take very long to get from level 1 and level 2, so I hope it's like that the entire way. If so, I'm okay with that, because that means while there is grinding, the grinding is not very long and not very obtrusive, so I'm okay with that. So, I was able to, within an hour, just get both of them level 2 on both Gnome and Udine, so we got that. So now we got max magic level for both these, so hopefully that means less dying, but we'll see. Anyway, let's jump down this hole and continue on. Oh crap, hold on, let me throw the script up. Yeah, I have the script up. One thing I immediately noticed about this environment is how vibrantly different it is, and I like that. I forgot to mention that the other day. The outside environment, who cares? It's just forest and fields. Very normal. They look good, there's nothing to write home about. However, Thanatos' ruins and the witch's palace, and then this area, whatever it is, almost looks like a submarine. I like the vibrant differences and aesthetic details they chose to go with it. It's very good, especially for 1993. This is good attention to detail. So I can definitely say the dungeons so far have good art aesthetic behind them. Watch this be a bomb. Oh, I got the whip orb. Damn, I could have just done that earlier. Okay, we're gonna go back because that's worth it. Hey Dark River, hey Dave, glad you guys could come in. Magic grinding is easy at first. The experience that spellcast goes down by 1, gotcha, so it's that type of style. Alright, so I'm not a fan of that type of style, but hey, it's something I can get off with. Might as well stick with my level 3 sword. We'll see how the, oh wait, hold on. I was going the right way. I might as well, stick with it and, you know, if we have to switch up weapons, we switch up weapons. Hey Ragna, how's it going today? Happy Saturday. Saturday nights, I like to do different things that aren't necessarily video game related. It's like the few hours I have to where I can do something that's not recap or video game related. So that's why I usually do any recapping that I do normally on Saturday or streaming, so that way I can have the rest of the evening to myself. Because it's important to have a work-life balance, and technically this is part work. The water seed. Uh oh, is that Diluc? Did they brainwash him? So is this like an underground submarine or something like that? A ship? Oh no, it's a completely different person. The Scorpion Army. To complete our super deluxe robot, we call it Kilroy. You know, when you think about it, Kilroy is probably one of the earliest memes out there. The Kilroy was here. That's a meme from like the 40s, man. I hope this Super Deluxe robot looks cool. With a name like Super Deluxe, it better. Alright, real fast. Save. Just in case we have to fight Kilroy right behind this. Oh, we do have to fight Kilroy. There's that boss music. Man. I was hoping Kilroy was going to be set up for something interesting, but they just immediately throw Kilroy at you. Alright, we're fighting, but before we do that... Did that even do damage? Good lord. Oh, he has a little motor thing in his back. See, if this was co-op, I could probably flank him. Yep, that's his weak point. I'm glad the spell went off even though they got moogled. This is a cool looking boss. I wouldn't call it a super deluxe robot, but it's a good looking robot. And it's on wheels. Well, a wheel. You need to do that, and... Oh, wait. You need to heal us. She only had 1 MP? That's bad. I thought I healed before going into this. There we go. Easy peasy. I mean, it's easy peasy when we finally trained our magic, am I right? Way to go. Oh, we got the Javelin Orb. I'm not a fan of the Javelin. I was training it up the other day, when, you know, just to give Randy something to do while everyone else is training their magic. It's just less accurate than the arrow. So I'm like, what's the point of the Javelin? What does it do that the arrow doesn't? Hey, Alessandra, how are you today? I thought I said Boss Nuts. I'm like, your name is Boss Nuts? Oh, okay. Okay, they just give up. That almost is a forgettable encounter. It's times like that when, this is the story writing thing, when you introduce something and immediately resolve it and nobody is developed in any way, that's sort of intermission, it's not worth mentioning. Unless, I'll write it down because the Scorpion Army may come in later, but if they don't, then this entire act was useless. It was just something to do in between the next dungeon. I never like it when they do that for character arcs. I hate it when a character arc is introduced and resolved immediately, and no development happens. That's lazy writing. It's like, what was the point of that? That was just filler. Because if you cut it out, then nothing would have changed. That's what makes it filler. Ooh. May as well level up the wit. Hey Pixels, how are you today? Pixels, I'm just doing what I normally do, which is every day I spend 3 to 5 hours working on a recap, and for Secret of Mana, whenever I'm recapping that, I'm just gonna stream it. Otherwise, this is just a normal Saturday workload. What I appreciate is those in chat who keep helping me out and giving me either boss strats or leveling up tips to help make this game go a little bit faster. Classic whip hit detection. Nice. So the whip is constantly producing a tangled effect, which I think is slow. I think it's a slowing effect. So their wake-up frames are iframes, which is a little annoying. You kind of have to get him at the very edge of that whip sometimes. There we go. I like the whip overall, though. The sword and the whip. It's a very Simon Belmont thing. Not even Simon Belmont, just Belmonts in general. And Pixels, I heard, I saw you on Twitter saying that you're trying to get back into the rig, and hey, you know what, good on you, man. Sometimes the only difference between those who succeed and those who fail is just getting up and trying again. It's just persistence. That's what I tell myself, is like, I'm not actually that very, you know, that good at making videos, I'm really not. I think what matters is just that I persisted longer than other people did. Because so many people with much more talent than me start this off with so much more gusto, but they just give up. Was there anything important in Kippo Village? At all? I wonder what the charge attack for the whip looks like. Okay, he just kind of spins in place and slashes it out. That's fine. The flourish for the sword is significantly more dramatic. I feel like they paid more love to the sword, which, you know, I guess makes sense. Actually, I think this black whip is longer than the other whip. Yeah, I think it got longer. I appreciate your kind words, Pixels. Thank you so much. To me, I love what you're doing, because it takes such bravery to me. And I'm not even saying that facetiously. The way that you will go up and approach people to just interview them, you do so with such a very, to me, comfortable style. Because when you first asked me for an interview, which you're still, I think, one of the only 3 people on the internet to ever do so. Actually, yeah, only 3 people have ever bothered to ask my opinion on anything. And to me, that's very flattering. And also, to me, just takes a good bit of self-confidence. So to me, I think what you do is very impressive. And I can definitely see that over time you've gotten better with your interview style. That's why I'm like, man, yeah, keep up the good work, is all I can say. And yeah, trust me, I know it's a huge time sink, because heck, that's what I do. Like I was just saying, I spend 4 or 5 hours every single day on a recap. Not necessarily the same recap, because I go crazy doing the same game too long for once. That's why I don't understand. I'm not making fun of anyone who does, but I don't understand people that only play 1 or 2 games ever. Much less MMOs. There are people that just marry 1 game. I never understand that. But you know, it's fine. I'm not admonishing that. Water Palace is north, if I'm not mistaken. You'd love to see this game redone like how they did Trials of Mana. I mean, it did get a 3D remake like Trials of Mana, but it didn't go over so well, Robert. And if you're saying no, what about the HD sprites? This is the HD sprite version. Because here, check it out. This is the original version. You can see it's slightly blurrier, which is authentic to how it originally came out. And they just kind of sharpened everything and made the contrast a bit better. Which looks good. This is just farming whip kills at this point. Oh, there it is. Alright, well I think that's the max level for the whip. Alessandro, the remake isn't technically a remake, it's completely a remake. And to be honest, there are people that actually prefer the remake to the original, depends on who you talk to. Because, as I pointed out, the original version has a lot to be desired on antiquated ways they've approached the technology, and the remake does have many quality of life changes, as well as mechanical things such as better hit detection. And better AI, which are the biggest things of this game, because hey, it's 1993, it's experimental tech, they're doing the best they can with what they've got. And in the 30 years since then, they've much improved much of that technology, so it's in the remake. Now, would I have preferred this HD port to have better AI and better hit detection? Yes. But at the same time, that's also authentic to the original, so some people want to keep that in there, some people don't. You're never going to satisfy both camps. It's never worth the effort to satisfy everyone. So they made a decision, they stuck with it. Oh, now there's enemies here. Get out of here. Oh, you're a new guy. I feel if they wanted the original one to get Water Thug, I'm okay with that name. Yeah, see, this is what should have happened when the orb was first stolen, is that there's monsters everywhere. Or the Mana Seed. This is more like it. Because then it adds context to, hey, there's trouble here at the palace. When they're like, oh man, the thing was stolen, but there's nobody around, it's like, how did it get stolen? Over here we can see it's overwhelmed by enemies. And that's perfectly cool. Oh, here we go. Got a new character now. This is how I feel the original theft should have gone down. Otherwise, had the Scorpion Army get it, they just maybe approached with their underwater or underground ship. Geshtar. Or is it Ges? No, it is Geshtar. Geshtar. Because it's not Gestar, it's Geshtar. Or is it Geshtar? Geshtar. Geshtar? Ah, the days before voice acting. Actually, the new one probably says the name, so I'll just look at what the new one says the name and how it's pronounced, and I'll go with that. See, back in the 90s, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but it was very fashionable to have very huge shoulder pauldrons. It was very fashionable. Everybody was doing it. hand over that seed or Luca's had it, don't you mean Luca gets it? Because if she's already had it, then you've already done it. Shut up, don't correct me. What if we just run? I'm gonna try running, actually. Uh-oh. What stopped me? So he takes the seed anyway. Okay. How? This is one of the many times in many RPGs where you don't sweat the details. In a recap, you can always tell when I just kind of wash over an event, where it's like, Gishtar takes the seed. Well, how do you take it? Doesn't matter, he takes the seed. Just move on with the story. Oh, we're straight up in another boss fight? Alright, well, quick save. I hope, besides my HP getting healed, that my MP is also healed as well. Man, this game just throws surprise bosses at you. What is this thing? Oh, it's a two-headed dragon. That's kind of cool. I think punch is pretty hard, though, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. Crap! My magic isn't healed. That is such nonsense. So they heal your magic, but they don't heal your, Oh, might as well speed... Oh, Jabberwocky. This is Jabberwocky, huh? Oh, might as well cast slow. Give ourselves an edge. Man, really, Randy? You're gonna throw yourself that way? So is the head the weak point, or the body? It seems to be the head. That hurt a lot. Good lord, getting wrecked. Wow, we just got destroyed by this thing. No trace of them was ever found. First game over. I don't know when I last saved. Oh crap, that was a long time ago. Well, we're gonna load this again and approach this smarter. We got no magic, but that's okay. Next time, stagger my saves. Maybe the base body is where you attack. Yeah, you can attack the base body. Randy, get up. Oh, come on, game. That's fine. Alright, this time we're gonna heal because last time we did that, he destroyed all of us. Like that. Why is killing this final head so much longer than the other one? There we go. Alright, we did it with no magic and no healing magic. That probably would have been a lot faster if we had magic. So now we know. After every boss, just sleep and restore your MP because the restoration that the boss gives you does not restore your HP or MP. Got the bow orb. Quick save. We're going to stagger our saves. Although in that case, it'd be fine to save afterwards. Alright. Oh, hey, what's up? So we just came to break the seal, that's it? Okay. Okay. Hey Dora, how's it going today? Okay. Got a whip orb. Okay. We're just rolling in orbs right now. He'll send you to the upper land. You gonna heal me? So, what was the point of that? He broke the seal, left, and we just restored again. It's stuff that I'm talking about like that, where it's just like, it happens so quickly that it feels like filler. But the good news is that, in recapping, it's not my job to explain the whys or the hows. I just explain what. What happens. Why did he do that? Who knows? How did this happen? Who cares? We just move on with the story. So I changed the background to be clear. And I think it's okay. Go to Lofty Mountains and seek Sage Jock to learn about real courage. Like, everything we did was not courageous. How dismissive. Okay. Dory just playing lots of Trails in the Sky. Yeah, that is another series that I haven't done anything past the first installment in, I think 2 years it's been. Possibly 3. That's another one of those one-off ones where I intended to do more of the series, but hey, you know what? Requests and urgency just kept me jumping from one playlist to another. That's why I have the soft lock now. Any of the Phase 2 playlists, which Trails in the Sky is one of them, any of the Legend of Heroes games, not just that, but Cold Steel later, I will get to, but that's why I'm not taking any new playlist requests. We're not starting new series. We are finishing all the open playlists that we have right now. We have over a dozen. This is another one. Man, I haven't done anything past Final Fantasy Adventure. You kidding me? And it's like these are the longest games either. So, I would like to save the game. Alright, so she restores my MP. Thank you, Luca. Dark River, the logic is that the bad guy wants you to win because you're restoring the power of the mana score to the key to Mana Fortress. First off, yellow card, that's a spoiler. And second, then there was no point again to attacking the palace because I already had the seal there. And them breaking it and me restoring it changes nothing. Alright, first things first, let's go and get our orbs cashed in. Okay. Wasn't there a cannon somewhere near here, though? No, that was a water palace. I remember that. But I think there's a cannon transport nearby. Dorkun like the first one? Thank you. And yeah, I will do second chapter at some point. Exact when? I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah, right here. I think it's a cannon right here. Yeah, there it is. Alright. I don't want... no, I don't want to go to Upperland yet. I want to go to the, I go to the Dwarf Village. I guess each of the cannon boys just, have a couple locations. So I guess I gotta walk all the way back over to the underground. I wonder, I always find it weird that some people have said, oh yeah, this is like Final Fantasy meets Zelda. I'm like, how is this like Zelda? But then I look around, I'm like, oh, I see. There are plains with which you walk around, you can cut down grass, and the guy has a sword. You're right, it's just like Breath of the Wild. In fact, did you know that Breath of the Wild is actually part of the Legend of Zelda series? I wasn't sure at first, because everybody just talks about Breath of the Wild, and I'm like, man, what is this Breath of the Wild game? And I played it. And you're right, there are fields and you can cut grass and the guy has a sword. That must be what everyone's talking about. I always wondered. I always questioned this. But now I see, whenever a game has a field and a guy with a sword you can cut grass, that must be what they're talking about. I don't know why they keep calling it Zelda games though, they should just keep calling it Breath of the Wild games. Alessandro, is there a mana series or are they just a bunch of unrelated games with mana in the name? So here's the thing. I've actually only ever played 2 mana games. No, I played 3. I played the first one, which is Final Fantasy Adventure. And I played the RTS one. I don't remember what that one's called. And I think I played one called Children of Mana. Now, I own the mana games. Like, I have Dawn of Mana, and I have Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana. I mean, obviously, I'm playing it right now. But, I've never played Secret of Mana. I never played Trials of Mana. Because, you know, it wasn't technically released officially in America until literally last year. And, I never finished Dawn of Mana. Never started either. I just bought it because it was an RPG. It was during my RPG collecting phase, which I guess you could say still never is, you know, still goes on. Because if something's an RPG, I'll buy it. I'll eventually play it, but I'll buy it. And I'm sure some people have noticed, but for those who haven't, the previous bit on Zelda is obviously a joke. This is my I'm telling a joke tone of voice. It sounds very similar to I'm saying normal thing like the weather voice. The key is if you can tell the difference. I do have to say though, I'm not exactly sure why people relate this to Zelda. The tone, the execution, the mechanics, I don't see it. They're night and day. I think people just see a guy with a sword and they see a field and they see cutting grass and they think, oh, it must be Zelda. Just like these days when they see a field and they see grass and they see a guy looking over a cliff, they think, oh, it's Breath of the Wild. Even though that's such a superficial reduction of it. But yeah. That's everything, right? Yeah, okay. Alright, let's go see the nearest Cannon Boy now. Was there a Cannon Boy near this area? I don't recall. People like to compare something they played. Yeah, I mean, everything's relative, I get that. But man, when some of those examples are just very dumb examples, it's like, I understand you're trying to relate this to something you think the other person's gonna understand because that's the limit of your understanding, but at the same time, all you're doing is exposing how limited you are. Like when some people are like, oh, everything's based on, like, God of War, or everything's based on Dark Souls, or everything's based on Skyrim. It's like, it's not though. You're just telling me that those are the few games you play and those are your only points of reference. I'm not blaming you, I'm just saying you're not providing a helpful analogy. And it's purely because you're trying to relate it to the limited experience you have. You're trying to contextualize it and compartmentalize it, and it's not working. If anything, you're unwillingly and unknowingly insulting the game. I know you don't mean to, but you are. Good shot. Wasn't there a Cannon Boy next to the witches area. Yeah, like right here, maybe, I think? There we go, yeah. Really? You're not going to send me to Upper Land. Okay, well, I might as well go to Water Palace. Because then for Water Palace, I go to the Cannon Boy, he sends me to Upper Land. I really hope they have a more universal network connection of cannons. This is still a fun animation to look at, though. At least they made the transition look fun. Look at us, we actually navigated from one spot to another without getting lost. I'm almost learning this beginning area. Alright, Upper Land, let's see where we go. It's huge, that sounds intimidating to me. Reach it by going through the Great Forest. Just slide into the cannon. I know we get a flying dragon, because they showed it on the back cover of the game. So I assume later we're not even going to need these cannons, we just go wherever we want. That is a big forest indeed. It's one of those, they make you crawl before you walk so you can appreciate the scale of things. Oh, is this a Moogle village? Man, I haven't seen one of these since Final Fantasy III. Or Final Fantasy VI. Look, there's even a tiny Moogle. How about that? And before you say, well, 6 was 3 in the United States, I actually mean Final Fantasy III. Who even speaks using the old terms anyway? Some people are like, I do. Well, get with it. World's bigger than that. Okay. Pebblers have taken over their village. Oh. So you can just forge stuff without your forge, as long as you have your magic hammer, I guess. Okay, well, at least we have a second spot. Uh-oh, I'm confused. There we go. Had to take over as Prim for a second there because Randy kept getting confused. Okay. So danger is that away. You think this would be like an area for a secret? want to do that. You know what I didn't do? I didn't buy replacement candies and revival things. We need to make that a ritual. Okay. I'm desperate enough for candy to even buy from you. Neko was your only shop in this area for a while? Thanks for telling me that, Dave. I guess we might as well pay his crazy... I mean, 300 isn't that bad, to be honest with you. We're just rolling in money at this point. Yeah, these guys just respawn immediately. I guess googly eyes. Nice. I feel like the whip is the safe choice when you're in a new area, and you're just kind of feeling out the enemies here. Pixels, the link to my merch store doesn't work for me. Really? Man. I wonder if it's a mobile thing. I'm gonna check that real fast. I also need to get some designs out there is what I need to do. You know what? I wonder if they take it down, because I used to have a thing from Teespring, and I wonder if they take it down if it just doesn't do anything after a while. Yeah, you're right. I think they took out my link because I don't sell anything. Well, there you go. I did at one point have a merch page, but thank you, Pixels, for telling me that because it was so unattended, and nobody really bought anything, so Teespring just took it down, which is fair. I think that's within their thing. If nothing happens on it for a while, they just take it down. It's not worth it. Which is okay, because that means I think you can always relaunch it. I'll take that link down later, which gives me an opportunity to do something. I'm not... I think, you know, I'm fully aware that I'm not at... Oh, what's this? Last time we cast ice on this. Blake... Grab a fairy walnut while you're at it. You know what, Kenneth? You're right. I should. I keep talking about running out of MP. Okay, last time we froze that orb. Let's see what happens this time. Nothing happened. Do I cast an earth spell on this now, I suppose? What is Earth Slide anyway? I didn't do anything. Alright, what's the secret behind that, this orb? I like how they get iframes when casting. Alright, so the whip has been leveled up. Let's move over to the spear now. No, the spear isn't what got leveled up, it was the dart, the javelin. Look at the hitbox for the javelin. It's a shorter range, but its hitbox is huge. It's so weird. Alright, so let's go back to Neko, and let's buy his walnuts. And I know I noticed he sold a new cap as well, so I might as well buy it since there's no one else here to buy it from. Guys, we're just trying to buy from the shop here. Damn it. Jesus Christ, 1,000? Oh my god. Alright. I'll buy 2. Since, you know, it's not like we're really using that much for anything else anyway. Alright, I'll buy 2 of these quill caps. Which actually seems like a normal price here. Look at that, 7777. Beautiful. Those orbs are type specific? Gotcha. Requiem, Rum Diddy. Thanks for joining the chat, I appreciate you. Yeah, this is, I guess you could say a very chill stream, but this is the recap process. This is the same 3, 4, 5 hours that I spend every day recapping a game. This time I just have you guys here. So thanks for having me on in the background even. I appreciate it. Be seeing you. You know, he's polite at least. Alright, so I'm guessing I don't have the element that that orb needs. Actually, come to think of it. Is this a trick forest by chance? The way that each of the screens keep changing, is this a trick? Oh, that's a do on me. Is this the Lost Woods, like in that famous game that's spawned a series called Zelda Breath of the Wild? Because Breath of the Wild had a thing like this. I'll stop. That's an old meme. Alright, everyone's level 17, which is good. Alright, so this is clearly a dead end. And I wonder if these pillars have something to do with it. I wonder if there's a sequence I'm missing. If there's a sequence or a maze, by all means, chat. Feel free to tell me the secret. I'm okay with that. That's not a spoiler. I'm sure, like most things in RPGs, they expect you to brute force it and try every combination until you find the way out. We don't have time for that. We're on a schedule here. We gotta recap this. These guys punch hard. Good lord. What's the trick? Whoa! There's a dragon. At least these enemies don't feel cheap like the little goblins who constantly replicate themselves. Yeah, what's up with that dragon there? I mean, that's the one that's on the back of the cover of the box, so... Clearly he'll be our friend later, but... In this area, go upper left, thank you. This is where we top off for healing. You have to go in the order of the seasons, but first you need to talk to one of the Moogles. Which one? The one that told me that their village got raided? Because I already did that. This must be them, because these are pebblers. I wonder. Are these guys weak to water because they're earth element? Not really. They're spinning too fast. Their little blue streaks just speed by. They're just too fast for the naked eye. I think I can hit him from the bottom, though. Oh, of course you'd be there. Nice. Alright, so I got that done. I think that's all the weapons I have now for upgrading. Yeah, so we're max on everything. Okay. I'm gonna play it safe with the whip. I'm really tired of getting stun locked in melee. Actually, the fairy spear was actually pretty good because I noticed it would balloon on people. Alright, so I guess because we destroyed everyone, this must be the Moogle Village. They're clearly the outdoorsy type. I guess we go back down to... This bush seems awfully suspicious. I guess we go back to the Moogles. There we go. Give me something good. Axe Orb? That's good. I'll take it. I guess we're gonna level up the axe now. From Diddy not leveling the bow or glove on Randy? Nah, I'm letting those be Prim and Popoi's weapons. I'm not gonna bother with either of those two. See, that's what I'm talking about, where it feels like filler for writing purposes. Popoi comes into the forest, loses memory. Do one quest, Popoi regains memory. It's like, what was the point of that? I guess it was just an in-game block to be like, this is the reason why Popoi couldn't immediately lead you to where Popoi's home was. So I was like, okay, what was the point then? It's a very antiquated way of introducing story blocks. You see it a lot in games from the 90s and the 80s. So by no means is this game unique for that. I wonder if they'll help me get that dragon. Walk the seasons from spring to winter, spring again, and we can enter. Okay. So spring, winter, and spring. Was there a transition from that? I guess the beginning part, right? Oh, we have another thing here. Ooh, baby, the glove orb. Nice. I love the power glove. It's so bad. You know what? I bought this cap, but I didn't even equip it. Oh, Sanjo. Yeah, you got that reference. Good on you. It's like, it makes you feel like you sweat a little. I'm like, oh god, I just put out a reference. Does anyone recognize it? I'm terrible with the references, but it always feels good when someone else gets it. High five, Alessandro. He's fair on his buyback prices, I'll give him that. Okay, so spring, winter, spring. It almost looks like Randy's punching them when he hits them with an axe. This range is so short, and I don't feel the power's any better for it. I wonder if the axe crits more, and that's its thing. I feel like that's what's happening, maybe. It crits a little bit more. Nice. Her claw knocks unconscious. That's legit. The status effect weapons are nice. It's the exact sort of staggering that I like to see. Because now it feels like the weapons are rewarding. Here's the thing though. When I upgrade a weapon, does it lose that status effect ability? Is it only for that stage of the weapon? Or is it cumulative? Like when I upgrade a weapon, like I upgrade that glove, will the next stage of that glove also inflict unconscious, or is it just going to do something different? Alright, so guessing this is summer, not spring. Alright, this is clearly fall. Spring, summer, autumn, winter, spring. Walk the seasons from spring to winter to spring again. Gotcha. I took that too literally as, oh, you just want me to do spring, winter, spring. Because you could do spring, winter, spring super easy. But he actually means, no, I mean walk all the seasons. Oh, hey, what's up, Cannon Guy? Where do you go out of curiosity? All the way to the beginning. Oh, at least you go to Gaia's navel. That explains that. Alright, let's get out of here. I don't want to fight these guys. Not worth it. I wonder how I get to... No, I'm sure there's a place from the fall screen. Guys, ignore them. Okay, they're just gonna be that way, aren't they? Okay, I'm stuck in a corner. Stop this. I feel like Prim is handling herself perfectly fine with her new glove. Her new Tiger Claw. Alright, so spring, winter... Hold on. It's a dragon again. And this one goes to... Alright, summer. Spring, summer. But this one's a dead end. This is a dead end summer. We need to find a different summer. This is the part I don't like. When I'm just trying to travel and everything comes and just blocks everything in my way. Alright, so spring, summer. I think fall is up here, right? Yeah, and then where's winter? Jesus Christ, everything. Alright, sorry, we're back over here. Am I confused? Yeah, I am confused. My controls are all reversed. Hopefully this is spring. Okay. That was from the right. What? What does that mean? That was from the right? Head to the upper right. Okay. Oh, I get it. That must have been Randy saying, hey, I heard something from the right. That must have been what it was. Because I'm like, what a weird statement for the game to say. But then I realized, oh wait, that must have been Randy talking. But it didn't say it was Randy talking. But it's the only thing that makes sense in that context. Alright, well this is a new area. We'll quickly save. Alright. Shambles. That's a word I like, but nobody ever uses. Shambles. Dave, boss fight incoming. See, I appreciate that forewarning, Dave. Thank you. In fact, I'm going to take a quick break right now. It's a nice halfway point. And if anybody wants to, feel free to tell me what the boss strat is for this to make it easy, I would appreciate it. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay. Boss fight, you say, huh? What on earth happened? We're on Earth now. I always think it's funny when we're clearly not on Earth, but they call their world Earth, or they use euphemism like that. It's always funny. Try not to hit the beak. It will nullify any weapon damage. Gotcha. And yes, Alessandro, always remember to hydrate. That's exactly what we do. So it's a bird. Oh, wow. That's a tall bird. That is a tall bird. Its feet don't seem to be spring beak. Wow, I did like 200 damage to that thing. Nice. We're gonna go with that. This thing's hopping all over the place. Oh boy, use Earth Slide now! Yeah, we're gonna stick with that solution. Oh boy, eat this walnut. 50 MP. Okay, I see why it's worth 1,000. I see that. Wow, wrecked it with just Earth Slide, nice. Weak to Gem Missile? It definitely seemed weak to Earth Slide. Earth Slide was just killing it for 250 a pop. But you're right, Rumdiddy. Definitely weak to Earth Magic. See, that's what I'm talking about. High five, chat. And got the Boomerang Orb. And Pokeboy leveled up. That was worth 1,000. Oh, are we into yet another dungeon that passed? This is gonna be another back-to-back. Or is this the orb? Oh yeah, we're right here. Okay, in that case. Oh. Grandpa's like, is that you, little tyke? I can't remember. Grandpa, it's me. Are you a boy or a girl? What is your name? I record Pokemon. Undid the wind seal. Okay. Alessandra, it's like in Mega Man when one of the bosses is always weak to another boss's weapon. Yeah, except in this case, it seems to be most of the bosses are going to be weak to literally the last element you just got. Because when we got water, the following things were weak to water, and then now we got earth, and literally the last few bosses have all been weak to earth. Which is fine, I'm okay with that. That's how game design still continues to roll on, that rock, paper, scissors joint. Bright flash stunned me. Flashbang through the door. Yeah, I think I need to change the background because I thought the transparent one would be okay, but it's too many bright colors. It looks terrible, quite frankly. So sprites are made of mana. Interesting. Move, how's it going? Thanks for joining chat. Olin, how are you? And they're I think it's funny. It's like we're made of mana, but like isn't everybody? Doesn't everybody have different life forces? Or I guess this is kind of like what the was it Thanatos or Eleni? Eleni was mentioning that the life force of humans is a different energy source than the life force of mana. Sylphid, the wind elemental, with you. Hey, there we go. Sylphid. It is so. You ain't never had a friend like me. Use Analyzer to learn what magic works on crystal orbs. Thank you, we were just talking about that. As Olin just brought up. Use this magic on the orb. I wonder if it's weak to wind. To Matango. It said a white dragon lives in a cave north of Matango. It's funny because we just saw like 2 or 3 white dragons, so like which dragon is going to help us? I'm dying now. Shall I save your game? Yeah, sure, thanks. It's getting dark. Would you like to save now? Alright, first things first. Where's the settings menu? There we go, we got window edit. I think this is the one that we had that looked a little bit better. Actually, that one's a bit darker. That seems okay. Yeah, we'll go diagonal stripes. It seems to be the darkest. That'll show up better. Oops. You gonna talk to me, old man? There it is. Yeah, that definitely looks better. That's a better contrast. No chest, I see. I mean, I guess none of these dragons will help me. How do I get back to the Moogle place? Where is that? Alright. I'm just trying to leave. I'm just trying to leave. Oh my god. Damn. Alright, so how do you do analyze? Is that a Sylpha trick? It is. Alright. Oh, so it even tells you if it's trapped or not, so I guess you can cast it on chest to see if it's a trap. I wonder if it'll tell you what's inside the chest, though. Air Blast. Silence. Thunderbolt. Well, let's just do Air Blast, this is cheaper. There we go. Oh, wait, before we do this, let's go back to the village. Oh boy, come on. Snap out of it. And, let's upgrade our weapons first. I just want to walk past these guys, I just want to walk past these guys. I just want to walk past these guys. This game is so in your face. There's no inn here, which sucks. Start training on the boomerang. I really don't love the boomerang that much. Because I don't see the advantage of it using the boomerang over the bow. And the bow will at least curve towards the target, while the boomerang just goes straight. I guess maybe the boomerang can hit multiple people if they're lined up, but let's be for real. Unless you're in a dungeon with a small hallway, then it almost never comes up. It'd be cool if it was like the Castlevania boomerang, where it hit every single time it came in contact with the enemy, so going and coming back, it hits twice, potentially. That would be cool. I guess you have to kill literally everything in the way, because otherwise they're all just trying to get past them. I take more damage than if I just try to kill them. So I might as well just kill them. Besides, they're giving decent XP and we're leveling up. Nice, good combo, guys. It'd be cool if the boomerang could throw diagonal and that was its niche. It was like, hey, you know, it's the only weapon that can throw diagonal. Then that would actually be cool. Those little guys weren't the most aggressive. Oh wait, I'm back here. Or is this somewhere new? Are we in another maze? Or do I just keep going north? How does silence reverse my controls? That's so weird. Like, if I was confused, I would get that, but I'm silenced. keep going north? Alright. I do notice that it seems like all of the status effects always work, which is interesting. Silent spell was a mistranslation? I could believe that. Alright, Boomerang's leveled up. Sweet. Get off that crap. I'm gonna stick with the whip. The backhand whip. I like that. Get backhanded. Oh. I was gonna say friend or foe. I think you're one of those type of enemies. We're just gonna spawn people infinitely until you die. There we go. Are you gonna do anything besides faceplant? Okay, good lord. Also, it looks like this was a trap because I can't get through here. This is not the way forward. You need to equip the axe to get through. Oh, the axe actually breaks those little stalagmites? I actually didn't know that. Because I know you used it for, like getting through like those posts to break down that, but I never thought you actually broke stalagmites with it. I'm too busy focused on one person that I can't notice every time one of my allies falls. Because you may be like, how come you're letting Popoi die? It's like, you don't... It's like, look, I'm not controlling... You're controlling 3 people at once. And when you're only technically controlling one and pseudo-controlling the other 2, it's kind of hard to keep track of where everyone's health is at the same time. Because they have numbers and not really a bar. So there's not really much visual feedback beyond those numbers. Alright, we're switching over to the axe anyway. Alright. Hopefully she gets a resurrection spell at some point. Because all these resurrections are getting expensive, for sure. I should have just done Randy there. Yeah, I literally didn't know at all that you can use the axe to just crush those. Oh, thank God there was a village here. Unlike other members of our village, we're peaceful. We still eat humans, but we're peaceful though. There's no res spell, only cups? Gross. Alright. Well, hopefully this is not a fight here. I'm gonna save just in case. Because these fights seem to come up unexpectedly from everywhere. Oh, thank God, an item shop. Appreciate you guys are merchants. They are mercantile. Wolf's Bond. Is that like the next wristband? Alright, getting you that. Stocking up on this. 500 is more reasonable. It's still expensive. Gotta love the old school way of buying things one at a time before they figured out how to do quantities. Alright, hopefully all these extra defenses will really help out. We're getting back a lot from this. We're getting a little bit faster with these menus, just a little bit though. Okay, everybody's upgraded. Okay, good. Oh, this also has Watts in it? Good. There he is. What's up, Lots? I think we don't need him just yet. Yeah, I think we're good. $50 is still good. Sometimes they all sleep on the left-hand side of the bed, and sometimes they sleep in the middle. It's kind of funny. Okay. Seems like a good place to save. Alright. That's clearly a treasure room. When we help the king, he'll give us a treasure, just like the last king, I hope. Alright, so I feel better. Now that we're fully healed, we're upgraded with our gear. And where am I on my weapon levels? Alright, so I'm up to date on all my weapon levels. Alright, we're good. You can tell he's the big boss because of his big mustache. With much beard comes much responsibility, as they all say. I like how this one guy's like, they were supposed to be extinct, and everyone's like, yeah, I just saw one yesterday. In fact, they're actually pretty common. This guy's behind the times. He's like, no, you didn't see a dragon. What you saw was a 5G tower. And the crazy radiation emanating from it made you think you saw a white dragon. Their position on the bed corresponds to the position when you speak to the innkeeper. But I always speak to the innkeeper from the bottom. He's a splendid ruler, but reckless. You'd think that would be a docked point off splendid. Splendid but reckless just seems contradictory to me, but alright. It's like he's bloodthirsty, but he's actually a nice guy. Oops. Trust me, if I wasn't always doing recap, I'd be putting probably 200 hours into Monster Hunter Rise right now. That's how you know I'm always working. So I hope you appreciate it. Alright, let's progress the plot. Up to playing the theme song. Oh, like you can speak into the center or slightly left or slightly right. Oh, you know what? That makes sense. Because I probably have a static animation from the point of origin with which you originated the conversation. So that's why it will always be the position relative to where you talk. So yeah. Use the first floor exit on the right for the cave. Hopefully it's a weapon orb. It's a bomb. He's like, haha, gets him every time. Hooray, javelin orb. I have a hard time thinking which weapon I dislike more, the boomerang or the javelin. I think I'd probably have to say the boomerang. The javelin at least has a huge hitbox. Alright, so... Wait a minute. Yeah, I was about to say, like, didn't he leave there? Yeah, he did. Alright. Because, like, I thought he said the cave was north. Alright, let's give this a shot. Yeah. Actually, I think this has a little bit more range. It does. This has more range. Thank God. Alright. The javelin is getting slightly better in my book. Still pretty weak, though. It's like we're like literally stabbing that crab in the eye, and he's like, ow, my eye. My God, there's an infestation of crabs. It seems like when it comes to the aggro range, you have to get close enough to an enemy to get your allies to aggro them, and then your allies will actually consistently attack. They're not going to voluntarily go in too much. Which I suppose is okay, because if I'm just farming weapon kills for myself, it's fine. I don't need them putting themselves in danger's way. Because that just saves me on buying more cups. By the way, how are some of you spending your Saturdays? And were you playing any fun games? You're like, what do you mean? Why would I play a game if it wasn't fun? Well, I don't know. Maybe you're playing it for an internet project like I am. Darn, wasted that candy. We're actually at full health, though. Ooh. Is there a way to get past the spiky boys over here, these pebblers, in a consistent way? Or are they always going to be invincible except for their face? And don't say magic, because we're not wasting magics on trash mobs. Randy, you can change your partner behavior. Oh, I'm aware. We've done that several times to the point where I'm really tired of consistently doing it. I almost don't want to open this chest, but let's try it. Oh wait, you know what? We have... I'm not going to waste the magic. Oh, chocolate. Something we actually could get. Yeah, stay right there. As long as she doesn't summon from this side, it's fine. Yeah, keep spamming that unconsciousness. Wait for pebbles to stop moving, otherwise I have 100% evade. Thank you. That is helpful. There we go. Alright, so the axe can't cut big rocks, only small rocks. Phew. This is a game that I believe the polite way of putting it is methodical. You really can't, obviously with the whole point of the stamina meter that's down there, you're not encouraged to spam any attacks. And especially given the collision detection in this game, you really don't want to be affording to miss your shots, so it does pay to be a little bit more patient, time your shots, and make each one count. It really does help. Man, really? You're gonna confuse me from down here? See, so there's confusion, which reverses my my thing, but then you have the what was it? Silence, which also did the same thing, which is kind of weird. Let's see, some of you guys still in Dragon Quest XI, Black Mesa, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Monster Hunter Rise. I'm feeling that. That's pretty cool. It'd be nice if the pole arm had a status effect on it. I'm sure there is one, but I think this confirms that it's not at that level. This is also definitely one of those games where it would absolutely be more efficient playing with other people. But you know how it goes. I don't exactly have 2 other people here with me. So... to me, footage collection is also important to do by yourself. Not by yourself, but personally. Not where it's like, oh, somebody else does the footage for you, because otherwise you really don't have a grasp for the context of how a game drives. Because looking and watching somebody play a game is in no way, shape, or form the same as playing it yourself. I find it hilarious when people say, oh yeah, I don't need to play this game, I watched a Let's Play. Well, watching a Let's Play doesn't count as you playing the game. It counts as you perhaps absorbing the story, but it does not count as you playing the game. Not everybody claims that. A lot of people understand that, so it's not usually a problem. But every now and then, you get a sassy person who's like, I already played the game, I watched a Let's Play. Like, that is not the same thing. Because if I had a friend who was getting in there and knocking things unconscious and crowd controlling while someone else was peppering arrows from the side while I'm doing whatever I want to do with whatever the weapon I want, oh man, this game would be a breeze. This game would be easy mode. But when you're doing it by yourself and you're relying on the AI, which you pray is going to do the right thing and not die, it's a bit of a challenge. I'm actually going to eat candies first, because those seem to pop out from chest, and conserve magic. I don't know why I did that on you. I meant to do that on Pokeboy. It's like Triforce Heroes. That game when you're playing with friends could be fun, but that game playing by yourself is not only misery, it is almost damn near impossible. They 100% balance that game for actual humans to do it. Not any sort of semblance of switching control here and there. Okay. Now there are two of them. This is getting out of hand. There we go. Man, it feels like the spear just rarely crits. I guess it's because it's a range weapon they assume, man, you're just gonna range filth it anyway. And they're right. Alessandro, you can play this co-op? You can. This actually is the very rare third-person co-op. Because two-person co-op you can get every now and then. But even rarer is the three-man co-op. That is super rare. How is my level on this? Oh, I'm actually already filled up on it. I must have missed that alert. Alright, so we can actually go back to the spear then. Or maybe I should do the axe, because the axe crits a lot. And also there's stalactites here. Yeah, see? I want to ask you a question. However, I noticed the axe takes almost your entire bar. So it is slower. You really gotta wait. Yeah, see silence, but it does say you're confused. So. Hahaha. You act like me being confused was gonna change anything. Now we're getting work done. Pretty killing me. I'm just gonna take a wild shot here. If you want crits, go spear, bow, or glove. The highest crit base. Interesting. Spear, you say? I'm not gonna lie though, I'm noticing a lot of crits with the axe. Anyway, let's analyze this. Ah. See, I was gonna be like, it's gonna be air magic, but nope, it is earth. They would have second guessed us if that was the case. I wonder if I hit it with speed down, if that will actually work. Or do you actually have to attack it? Did that do something? I can't believe I spent twice as much magic just to cast one spell. Okay, so that's not cool right there. I'm gonna tell you right there where it says Gnome's magic will work. No, Gnome's magic doesn't work. Gnome's Earth Slide works. Because the other two Gnome spells don't do anything to it. That's shenanigans on the game's part. That is shenanigans. Game lying to my face. You know, I think you're right. This spear's critting like crazy. Nice, the spear inflicts a status effect. Stunlock, baby, take that. Have all this cheese. Am I going the right way to the boss room? I assume it's back here where I thought it was a dead end. We're gonna take from them everything. Nice spacing attack. Bam, take that. Okay. I'm going to get Prim a candy and hope that I get a candy back out of this. No, not Prim. Popoi. Whatever. She needed topping off anyway. That's the second time I made that same mistake. Watch it be a bomb. Oh, chocolate. They're giving me chocolate now. We're in the big boy leaves. Okay, what did that actually do? What did that orb actually change? Because I thought it would close this gap here, but it's not. Alright. Can we run past these guys? Can we run past these guys? We might be able to, yes. Because I hit the orb. I don't see anything else that changed. Unless there's another orb. Spacing out is better than unconscious, because unconscious, they lie down and they have iframes. So I like that this spear does that better. Yeah, it helps out a lot. Have I been down here? I feel like I have. I don't know. This is the boss room. Okay. I'm glad we accidentally found the boss. Oh, it's a giant snake. And every part of him is invincible except for his head, I'm sure. Okay, game. Nice crit. Alright, analyze. What are you weak to? Great Viper. Alright, not the most inspired name. Pygmy-ized. Fierce Sylphid, okay. But which Sylphid attack? So it casts Tiny on people, though. Air Blast or Thunderbolt? Thunderbolt seems to do more damage. Let's try it. I am pygmy-ized. Does restore work on this? There we go. Really? Prim getting bodied like that? Brutal. Use the mallet? I don't have a mallet. We have to wait for animations to finish. It's weird. Sometimes when an effect is happening, you can't cast magic. I guess there's timing. I guess you take extra damage when you're pygmy-ized as well. Yeah, because she takes like a crap ton of damage. Look at that. She took like over 100 damage just for being pygmy-ized. Good lord. And she's just stuck there. See, she just dies. Just, like, once you're pygmy-ized, you just die. The snake just goes straight for you. Ugh. I guess when you're pygmy-ized, you just have to address that immediately. Because otherwise, Prim's doing nothing in this fight. I told you to cast... Ugh. Cast it. Cast it. Cast it. She's not casting anything. Thank you. Cast it. So I guess for some odd reason, when you cast it on one person, it doesn't do anything, but when you cast it on multiple people, it works. We're also just getting wrecked here. Ugh. Getting stun locked. Oh, I'm dead. Two of us are dead. Okay, well, we're just... Restart. Ugh. So what's pygmy-izing me? Just running into him? That's really unclear. This is definitely a... And look, already dead. This is a whip situation. The amount of waiting in this game is ridiculous, too. See, look, he just did over like 140 damage to Prim, and she wasn't even micro. She literally was just standing there. It just slaps you. I asked you to cast Cure Water on us. Why didn't you do that? Thank you. This game sometimes. And the fact that it doesn't freeze time for the bosses or anybody is annoying. Because when they cast magic, sometimes we just freeze. Okay, here's what I need to do. I need to have everybody back away. This is a back away fight. That's also hurting us. I need you to keep away. I asked you to cast Remedy on yourself, thank you. And then when you cast something, apparently you can't cast anything else until the animation for the previous spell is done. So I can't even start getting offensive with Gnome here. Or, Sylphid. Did that even do damage? I wonder. I asked you to remedy. Man, I love it when the AI just doesn't do what you ask it to do. It's so great. And then dies anyway. I feel like this entire battle I'm just playing healer with items. I don't even know that did damage. Because I'm sure this is a lot easier to coordinate when you have somebody like Randy who's constantly striking at the head from a distance, and your healer can be quick to hit restore, and you know your mage is constantly casting bolts. But when you're the only person who has to tell all three of these people to do that, and also stop running into the snake even though you tell them to stay away, and you have to wait for every one of your actions, it's not as easy. See? I'm healing, I can't move, and by the time I'm done healing and everyone has to stand and pose and cheer for no reason, the snake just walks over us and gets us all pygmy-ized, and we all take damage, and there's nothing I could have done. Because everything in this game just takes so long. Ugh. Good lord. It's boss fights like this that just expose the flaws in like the old school battling. But when you have to micromanage everything, including two very stupid AI, man, it's just misery. Thank God. And Popo just spazzing out over there. Perfect representation of how the AI in this game works. Just can't figure out the basics. Ugh. Okay, now I can look over a chat. I don't know, Rum Diddy or Alessandro, maybe if you weren't there for a previous session, but when a boss fight's going on, I can't read chat because I'm too busy dealing with the boss. So all of the advice you guys are trying to throw out there, no offense, I didn't read any of it. Because, I don't know if you noticed, but it's kind of like driving a car. I don't have time to check text messages. I appreciate you guys trying to yell support, but that's the stuff that needs to happen before a fight goes down, not during. If this thing's a wind dragon, or a white dragon, then I guess the other ones were not white dragons, I guess they were blue dragons. Kind of blue dragons. Like how it has a huge tuft of hair on its head. Rum Diddy didn't know his first stream. Well, no problems, no problems. I appreciate you, like I said, I appreciate you trying to help. I know you were coming from a good place. It won't make it if we leave it here. If you say so. Super passive, super aggressive. That's actually kind of a funny name. Thanks for contributing in chat. Appreciate you. I'll try to dump it before a boss, but only if you want. Don't want to ruin the experience if you don't want it. No, it's okay. Trust me. I haven't put that in the description. It's okay. I don't want story spoilers. That's not cool. However, forewarning for a boss, like, hey, right around this corner is going to be a boss, and his weakness is, I don't know, Thunderbolt. That absolutely is welcome advice. Because the whole point about this whole live recap is just like a real recap. I actually normally have it, but for this, I'm actually relying more on you guys, is I would have a guide open right next to me, and I would just literally look, being like, alright, the end of this dungeon is Snake Boss, and his weakness is Thunderbolt, and also, if he touches you, he minimizes you, and it hurts a lot. I actually would have done it myself, but because you guys are here, and I'm doing it live, I'm going at a little bit different pace, and if you guys want to throw boss information to help speed things up, that's okay. Is it flamey or flammy? I have to wonder. It's times like this that I have to reference the remake. Kakara. Or maybe it's Kakara. Did he call it the Flame Dungeon or the Flame Palace? I think it's like Flame Palace. You used to speedrun this game? Ah, I see. Hold on, let's upgrade our sword. Well, Rum, this is actually a first-time playthrough for me that I'm playing for the purpose of recap. So, that's why we're going at a different pace. This is not speedrunning, but if you have any cool speedrun strats, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with cheese. I'm not going to glitch anything, but I'm perfectly okay with cheese. Randy's the only person I know who can one-hand a claymore. I guess to say Cloud can, but Cloud has alien blood. Or one-hands a claymore. I guess Guts does too. You know what? Those guys are all strong men. I guess that's their point. Alright, I guess we'll take the cannon, and then we'll come to a stopping point. I almost made the mistake we keep making, which is right as soon as we leave, we're not resting and recouping our MP. Oh, and I guess before we do that, we should spend the last bit of our MP. No, we can't cast anything in the village. Alright, that's fine. So yeah, I don't see any mallet that you guys were talking about. Maybe Neko had it? Who knows? It would be nice if the shop told me how many of an item I have, but I guess it doesn't matter because you can only carry 4 of a thing. Okay, now we're going to Flame Palace. Alright. Alright, Cannon Man was... Alright, really getting stuck on a rock? Come on, guy. Where was the Cannon Man? We ran into him before. Was it here? Yeah. He seems to often be on a screen that only has a left exit. I think they're doing that on purpose. Slap me 50, and I'll send you flying. Oh. Ice Country. Do we go to Kakara first, or Ice Country? If you cast a spell, you can tell your partners to cast again as soon as the elemental disappears, rather than the spell animation on the spell target. That is helpful. Because I'm like, man, when's the timing to when I could cast another spell? It seemed like it was when the animation was done, but as you saw, I'm like, that is unnecessarily long. Dwarf Elder has the Mage Mallet. Interesting. You go to Ice first? To Fixio? Can someone confirm? Do we actually go to Ice Country first instead of Kakara? Because I know he told us to go to Kakara first. Because is Ice Country a side area, or do we have to actually go there? I guess is more my actual question. Both work. Ice is a longer slog, but Kakara puts you in a weird circumstance? Oh, is this like an open-ended part? Okay. Are they both mandatory, is my question. You have to do both eventually. I guess we did Kakara first then, right? Ice Country's above your level and gear? Okay. I'll believe you, Rum. Ice is a dead end until Kakarot's done. You might be right, because it's kind of like the Witch's Haunted Woods. You could go there before you went to, or no, the ruins were gated off, even though you could go there until you defeated the Witch first. Alright, so we'll go with Kakarot. I guess we're going to Dry Desert first. Alright. You get the ice boss's weakness in the desert. Makes sense. Ice Country has better gear, but costs money and could turn into farming. Ah. So it is the more advanced area, which is why some people go there first to get the better gear earlier. I can see the logic behind that. What a barren place. I know, you could say deserted. Alright, we will navigate the desert next time, because this is a perfect stopping point. But we got a good bit done today. We got about 2.5. Yeah, we got about a very large paragraph and then another decent sized one. I think we got a good bit of story done today. If I can average around 2 paragraphs in a single session, especially since this is a short session, I'm only doing 3 hours instead of 5 hours, for example. So if I can get that many words in, then that means that we're getting through a decent chunk of story, I'd say. Sometimes there are games where I can go through... I remember when I did this live recap of Last of Us Part 2, I would go for like hours, like 4 to 6 hours of gameplay and no actual story happens. Because just because there's events and gameplay happening, it doesn't mean the plot is being progressed. The plot can be progressed without the story being progressed. Those two can happen independently. Stuff can happen and yet it's not driving the overall story. Just like dungeons. Like, this is one of those games where dungeons are not actually story related. Any activities or the bosses don't matter. They're not contributing to the story. They contribute to the pacing of the plot, but they don't actually contribute story. Lore and plot are not story. People who don't understand the nuance do not understand narratives in general. But I can tell this is a pretty common formula for early 90s RPGs, where it's going to be story event and exposition, and then traveling in a dungeon. Then story and exposition, then traveling in a dungeon, which is an okay pace. It's certainly very normal. It also makes editing very easy later, because that means I can skip large parts of this recorded footage and just jump straight to the quick story beats that need to be recapped. And if something super interesting or funny happens along the way, of course I'll talk about it. But other than that, this seems like it's going to be a pretty tightly paced recap so far, which I'm okay with. You're in the mid-game now? Okay, that's good to know. Secret of Mana gets pretty open world later on. Interesting. The desert is a timed event? Oh, really? So we'll actually dehydrate and die. That's actually interesting. And yeah, Rum is right. The dragon isn't a spoiler. First of all, we have been told about the dragon. We literally just rescued it. And yeah, it's on the back of the box. If something's in the trailer or the back of the box, I don't consider it a spoiler. Because it's open media. I know some people put themselves on media blackout, but this, man, everybody knows a guy like this who's super sensitive to spoilers. Some people don't even want to know the title of a game until it actually comes out. I knew a guy who was like that. He's like, don't even mention the title. I don't want to know about the title. It's like, that is not a spoiler. How else are we supposed to talk about this game? He's like, no hype, no media blackout. I want to go completely blank. I'm like, I respect that, sort of. No, actually, I don't respect it, but I think that's a bit too sensitive. So, yeah. The desert is another maze. Go up, left, up, right, up. Gotcha. That's good. Now, remember that, Harvey, because I'm not going to probably remember that on Wednesday when we come back to this. Next couple days, I'm going to be doing recaps, but they're not going to be streamed. They're going to be the other stuff. The other side projects, the Persona projects that I'm working on right now. So, Persona 2 is the next recap that I'm recapping this alongside this and 2 other games. Like I said, it alternates so that I don't get burned down on one project. But for the next couple days, I'm actually going to be working on the Persona games and not this. So when we return on Wednesday night, that is when I will probably need that information again. What you mean by open world is eventually you can go anywhere in the world, but you have to get through a number of objectives before the main arc progresses. That's fine. Things can be open while still being linear. Like, you have to progress the main plot in a set order, which is linear, but the way with which you can approach it is open-ended. Doesn't really make it open world, but it is what it is. Being linear is not a bad thing. Some people have this weird fixation of saying linear and thinking it's like some sort of bad word. It's not. Being linear is actually better for storytelling because you have a lot more focus and you can control the pacing better. If you don't, it kills any sense of urgency whatsoever. And it also makes for very sloppy storytelling because they have to account for the fact that you could be approaching this from any point of the gameplay or the story, and it makes things a mess. So that's why the more open games are, usually the sloppier the storytelling is. Or more insignificant. Because they have to let the player create their own journey and not actually the intended creator or writer. So, it's fine. Nothing wrong with a linear story. But yeah. You can go to add a sequence like steal treasure from Dungeon A, then go to Dungeon B for more power. Power doesn't seem to be a problem in this game. Approaches do. Like for the snake, clearly the approaches tell everybody to back the hell away, and Prim is solely on restoration duty, and Popoi is solely on Thunderbolt duty, and they need to stay the hell away from the boss. And that's fine. I wouldn't know that going in blind, but once you encounter it, you realize, damn, this snake will wreck you if you're not careful like that. So it's hard to tell. You don't know until you encounter them, right? That's just like every boss. What do you think of sandboxes or immersive sims like Deus Ex? Deus Ex, the last two... What is it? Mankind Divided and Human Revolution. Those two were... I would say they were open-ended in their environment design, but they were linear in their storytelling. Because you didn't... Yes, you could approach the story in different ways, and you could choose, like, oh, peaceful or violent, but those didn't really change the overall plot elements, which is, you come across the boss, that boss is defeated, that's it, period. You go to this next stage. Your objective is this, the story relevance is this. It separates the gameplay from the way that the story is conducted. Which I think in the latter two are okay. I liked it for it. It was so much fun to still play the game and yet still have the story play out in that. Now, if it's a type of game that has open-ended endings, then yeah, it's a mess of storytelling. Because at that point, the story almost doesn't matter because it's about what you play and how you play it. And the whole takeaway is your personal experience. Those are also the games that I don't typically recap because it's not about telling a specific story, because the whole point of the game was you experiencing and creating your own journey, making your own adventure. That's the reason why I'll never do games like Mass Effect. So, even though they're super good and they have the same plot points no matter what you do. And that's not unique. Like, people always attack the third game for like, oh, it doesn't have a unique ending, it's the same one. Did you not play Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect 1? They did the same thing. I don't know why you don't notice this. People attack 3 when 1 and 2 did the same thing. Whatever. Anyway, that's a completely different rant for another day. Tyler made it right at the end. Hey, it's okay, Tyler. Saturday is the midday stream because Saturday nights I do other stuff. I try to have a bit of a life for myself. But we'll be back to business with Secret of Mana on Wednesday night. And I will see you guys there. It was, again, of course, fun with a lot of you. What time do you stream on Wednesday? Okay, so Wednesday and Saturday are the 2 days that I absolutely stream right now. Wednesday is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Wednesday is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 hours each. I am working on a third day throughout the week. Sometimes it's Sunday, sometimes it's Monday, sometimes it's Friday. The best way is just to kind of look for alerts. So, I apologize that I can't be more consistent on the third day, but fitting in a third day is just a flexibility thing. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone that's helping. I really appreciate the rhythm that we're going through. Again, always appreciate the boss strats and directions on mazes, because mazes are my absolute bane. Because I'm trying to get through this quickly. There's a maze! My whole point is to make you waste your time until you memorize the correct route. I hate that. You're a time killer. That's exactly your point, Maze. You're a time killer. Stop that. I'm trying to recap this and get out. So I appreciate you guys helping navigate and Sherpa me through. So I'll do the fighting, you guys navigate, and I think it's a good relationship. Alright, enough preamble. We'll meet again Wednesday night, 9 p.m. I look forward to talking to a lot of you then. And I'll see you in the next Battlefield.